Good morning. Thank you all for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. I just wanted to give you an update to what happens in my dad's house that you kind of don't see. My mom passed away in 2017, and I've been taking care of my dad since late 2018, 2019, and I decided to move in 2020. My dad is currently 93 years old and has stage 6 dementia. So everybody experiences something totally different in this house. So what I'm gonna explain to you or tell you is things that's happened to me. So, you know, some of my siblings, my sisters, or my nieces that come regularly, um, they experience something, or sometimes nothing at all. So, like I said, this is just my what I've experienced since I've been here in my dad's home. So when I started visiting my dad in 2018, um, the first thing that I've noticed in this house are the different smells. Now, each smell contributes to a person that I knew growing up. So, like when I would open up our garage door, I would smell cigar smoke. And the only person in my family that I knew that smoked cigars regularly was my uncle. So, and he would always smoke them outside. He was never allowed to smoke them inside the house. So, when I go out to the garage and I do smell the cigarette smoke, I always say, "Hey, uncle, thank you for coming to visit. I'm doing okay, but I appreciate the visit." And then another smell there's like three smells that I smell in my dad's house. The first one is regular cigarette smoke, and I contribute that to my mother's mom, my grandma. And again, when I smell it, it's not very strong. It's like a faint smell, and nobody in the house smokes. So when you do smell it, um, it's it's like, oh, hey, grandma, thank you for coming to visit. I appreciate you watching over me, um, and thanks, you know. And the same thing with my dad's mom. Now, with my dad's mom, it's a little bit more complicated because my grandmother on my dad's side, her smell is Pond's uh, cream and baby powder. So when you smell that, that is my grandmother. And I always say, "Grandma, thank you for coming to visit. I'm watching over my dad as best as I can. You know, if I'm doing something wrong, let me know." And then the last smell that I smell in the house is the perfume Wind Song. Now, Wind Song is my mother's scent, and not only have I seen my mother, but I've smelt her and I've touched her since her passing. I wasn't able to be here for her passing. I was having surgery at that time, so I was banned from traveling, so to speak. So I could not make it. Workers' comp is very finicky about their stuff, so I had to just do what I did, and but at least I got to talk to my mother. Um, and then every once in a while, I'll walk out into the garage where I do have another camera set up, which I've posted some videos of just a few orbs in there now and then. Um, I do see my mother sitting in the car. So that would be the car to the left. The one on the right is my car. So the car to the left is my dad's car. And I'll open up the garage door, and sometimes I'll see my mother sitting in the passenger seat, and I'll be like, you're shocked, so you take a step back, you blink, you look, and there's nobody there. So, and then I would just say, "Hey, mom, I'm sorry, we're not going out today. Um, the next time we do go out, you're welcome to jump into my car. We don't drive my dad's car. Um, it's it's complicated, so we just don't drive my dad's car." So when I started coming, we would be in the TV room watching TV, and my dad would always say, "Don't you see the little boy? Don't you see the little girl?" And I'm like, "No, I don't see them. I go, they're for you, you know? And my dad would get upset, would start getting upset, and I've always chalked it off to like, oh God, his dementia, it's getting worse. So he would always say, oh, they're jumping on the couch. I go, well, Dad, tell them to stop and get out of here. If they don't belong here, tell them to leave. You know, find out some information, find out what their names are, find out maybe they're relatives that I can look it up on Ancestry. It could be anybody. Find out. And he always would say, oh, they won't tell me their names. They don't want to tell me who they are. And I said, okay, well, tell them to leave. And then, when I'm sitting down playing on my phone on the recliner, sometimes my dad will go, oh, the little girl's standing right next to you. And I go, oh, she's just watching me play my game. It's okay. She can watch. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And he's like, oh, okay. And then every once in a while when I'm sitting there and I'm playing Pokemon Go or I'm playing slots or whatnot, I'll feel a slight brush on my shoulder. And I'll just say, hey, if you don't belong here, you need to go. I don't mind you watching me, but please don't touch me. You're not supposed to touch me or my dad. That's a no. So, and like again, I said, I just chalked it off to being dementia for my dad, And then my true first experience with that was in 2019. I was in my bedroom that I'm in now, and I do have a camera in there, and I have posted videos of orbs in my room. I went to bed. I had back then I had a very small TV, so I was just watching the news and things, and I went to bed. And when I turned everything off, I rolled over, and something or someone brushed my leg. I mean, they just went right down from my knee down to my ankle. They brushed it. So, I immediately jumped up, turned over, going, who in the heck? And I saw the top of like the forehead and the head, sunk down underneath the bed. So I jumped up and grabbed my knife, because I always sleep with a knife, and walked to the side, flipped the light to walk to the side, and there was nobody there. So I finally just said, you know what? Don't touch me. Get out of my room. You need to leave. You're not allowed to be in here. You gotta go. And it kind of freaked me out for the rest of the night. So, I was up and down all night. Very light sleeping, knife in hand and everything, because I didn't know. So, that was my true first experience of someone or something touching me, was on my calf. So, my dad being as old as he is, he's fallen a few times walking by himself, and I was worried, getting out of the bed, walking into the bathroom because he's on a walker. I decided to buy a camera. And what I did is I bought a $3.99 camera from, I don't know, one of those Asian websites. I go, well, I'm just going to try this out. Let me see if I can get this hooked up, and then maybe I'll consider buying more, change a brand, all sorts of stuff. So when I set it up in my dad's room, it was working pretty good. I could see everything. But then I noticed that, it would start off in the middle watching my dad, but in the middle of the night or so, you can hear the click and the whirl, and it would always go into the upper right-hand corner of the room. So I don't know, what the hell? What is going on? So I would always go back and look at the feed on my laptop, because it wouldn't connect to the phone. It was only a laptop program at that time. So I didn't really see anything. But a few days before it actually, like, that camera broke, it did the same thing. And I said, and I do what I do every day. And I went back and I looked at the video feed, but then I caught something. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know why it was there. but it was there. I finally found the video. It took me some time because, like I said, it was a recording off my old laptop, and I had to find it. It was hard, but I did find the video. So I will be posting that video today after I post this comment video, this update video. So I will be posting that video, and you tell me what you think you see. What I see is the shape, like heartbeat, and then kind of shows a silhouette, a profile or silhouette of my mother. You don't really hear anything, but you do see it. And again, you guys, it's up to your determination. You tell me what you think you see or what you think it is. And like I said, it's going to be recording from my phone, from my laptop to my phone. I couldn't transfer. So, I'll leave it up to you guys. It's something, I don't know. I just don't know what it is. So, and then of course, I bought new cameras because that one broke. And the first night that I hooked the camera up and watching my dad, which I've already posted, was when he's laying down sleeping and praying. All of a sudden, you see all these orbs. Now, I was in my room at the time, and again, I was watching TV, and all I can see on the camera, on the phone, because I had another extra phone where I hooked it up. It was an old phone, and all you could see was light. And I'm like, oh, my dad's, oh, he's got the flashlight. The flashlight is my dad's comfort space, comfort object. When you have dementia, they always pick an object, and flashlight, for some reason, was my dad's object, comfort object. So if my dad gets admitted to the hospital, he has a flashlight. That's just his thing, and we don't question it. We just give it to him, and he holds it and everything. So I don't I don't bother, too much. So anyway, as I was watching the TV out of my peripheral, I could see the phone, and I could still see these lights. And I'm like, what the heck? Finally, I think about after 5 minutes or so, I turned over and looked at the phone. And all of a sudden, I started seeing the orbs. I'm like, what the heck are those? So I decided to record a clip, and I sent it to my sister, my younger sister, and one of my older sisters. There's 4 girls in my family, so I have 2 older sisters and 1 younger sister. So I sent it to my sisters, and my sisters were like, what the heck are those? And I'm like, heck, I don't know. They're orbs in Dad's room. And they only come when he's praying. So we started recording all sorts of different videos. I recorded one video, which I've already posted, of what I call the waterfall of orbs. I mean, we were in the living room, in the TV room, doing the rosary like we did every night at 6:30, and all of a sudden, my sister's like, hey, look at the camera, hurry. So I, opened up my camera on my phone, and all of a sudden you just see all the orbs just come down, and they just scatter. And we're both looking at each other, and we're like, we don't know. We don't know where that came from. We don't know, what that is, why it's happening. Maybe because we're doing the rosary, who knows. So, that's not the first time it's happened. That's the second time we've had I call the waterfall of orbs. So, and I don't understand why they always happen. Well, I kind of do understand why it happens when my dad prays, because he's praying for everybody, all of our family that's passed away. So I understand why the orbs come. Am I afraid of them? No, not really. Do they bother me? No, they don't bother me. I hooked up a camera in my room, and I've posted a few from my room where I'm just sitting there watching TV, or I'm playing my Xbox, and the orbs are just flying around, and I don't see them. I mean, I don't see them physically, but there are things that happen, in the house. So, where the cross is, and I posted the video of the cross moving on its own. Sometimes, when my sister and I were here taking care of my dad after he broke his hip, um, we could swear, both of us could swear on a Bible, on my mama's grave, that the picture of the Virgin Mary, as we were doing the rosary, we could see her lips move or smile, or her eyes would turn black like mine. And we would just both look at each other to, go, hey, look at the picture, or point at the picture. And I've tried to capture that on camera, but for some reason it doesn't capture. I guess it's just something that's meant for us. I don't know. So, it's interesting. This house is interesting. So, and sometimes I have to chalk it off to the animals around my dad's house. My dad's house we live in Riverside County, where the area that we live was called Highland. So it's Highland/Riverside County. We are close to a mountain. I would say maybe a quarter mile. We have I call it a mini mountain because they, blasted out and started building houses going up into the hills. So we're pretty close. So when the mountain doesn't get any snow per se, but it does get really foggy and you can see. And, we do have animals that come off the mountain. We have foxes. We have coyotes. I captured what somebody had told me was a possible bobcat. We have wild donkeys that roam the area. The donkeys were here first, so, respect to the donkeys. And, raccoons, of course, all different kinds of birds, So sometimes when I hear things outside, I have to think, is that something paranormal? Or is it the animals? And I do have cameras outside. I have one that faces our back gate, and I have one that faces the complete backyard and then I have one that's for patio, because I have captured the foxes, the raccoons, the coyotes in the backyard, and the foxes that we have made a burrow and had one kid. So, and I just let them roam. I don't venture out of the house. If I see them out there, I don't go outside because I don't want to disturb them as much as they don't want to disturb me. So sometimes I have to think when I hear tapping or a thud or, just anything, I have to think, is that a wild animal jumping over the gate, jumping over the fence? Because in my room, I'm right next door to the security gate. So, and the coyotes do jump, and I have heard them. So sometimes I have to figure out what it is. And I always most of the time I just chalk it off to being a wild animal because I get an alert from the back camera that there's something walking, and I would always look, and it would always be a fox moving around. Sometimes it'd be two. It just really depends. So anyway, again, I'd like to thank you all for watching my videos, subscribing to my channel. I will be posting that one video for you guys to determine what you think it is. And thank you very much. You all have a great day.